This is the story of our journey through New Zealand to explore native flora and gain the locals' perspective on the culture of conservation that exists to protect these plants.
On our travels through New Zealand, we encountered and learned about many unique plants that exist on the island country. One that immediately drew us in with its spicy flavor was pepperwood, or Pseudowintura colorata. On a hike in Downfall Sound, we asked Alex, our hiking guide and ecology expert, how the plant was historically and contemporarily significant.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the Maori use for showing pepperwood?
So the Maori, the indigenous people of New Zealand, tend to use horopito or pepperwood. Used to be to help stomach pains, nausea, things like that. More contemporary uses of it tend to be around with cooking, things like that. It's nice, spicy, peppery taste. What you do is dry out the leaves, put them in a pestle and water, or grind them between a couple of rocks, and you see it with nice fine powder, seasoning steak, things like that. Seafood, kaimoana, and then now traditionally, not traditionally, more contemporary, you'll find used in hot sauces, places like that, very boutique artisan places starting to bring in Māori culture into more Pakeha European food.
So you say it's like kind of a new trendy thing?
For sure, yeah, for sure. Traditional with a spin.
Right, yeah, like it.
Horopito, also known as the Bushman's spicy painkiller, is found in coastal, lowland, and montane habitats across the mainland. Its genus is also endemic to New Zealand. In addition, the plant has medicinal purposes, such as relieving digestive issues and open wounds as an at-home remedy.
In a culminating moment of our trip, we trekked for 4 days and 80 kilometers on the Hifi Track. This trek took us through multiple biomes from the beach to the temperate rainforest. We were stunned by the diversity and natural beauty that we encountered. We asked Rich, our guide and lifelong Kiwi, about pepperwood diversity, as well as why nature is so important to him and other Kiwis alike.
Okay, so what do you know about pepperwood, like the common plant in New Zealand, and where it grows?
Yeah, so we've got two different types of pepperwood. One, the kawa, which we made tea from at the Hifi Hut.
Yeah.
Lovely tea. It was used a lot by the Maori for herbal remedies and things like that, so it has some really good medicinal compounds in it, which scientists have sort of looked at those compounds and how useful they are for us, even for alternative medicine for today. So it's been hugely important for the Maori traditionally, but could probably play a really good role for us in the modern world too. So yeah, and then the other pepperwood we have, the horopito. It has some quite amazing medicinal compounds as well, and once again was used by the Maori for herbal remedies, but they're finding that for science that there's some really amazing compounds in that can be used today to help us with treatments and things, as well as being nice, and it's used in culinary dishes too, and salads and things like that. It's just amazing.
And then next up, so how, as a local, have you developed an appreciation for nature and conservation?
The guiding that I've been doing the last 5 or 6 years has developed my passion for nature and knowledge hugely. I was always really interested before, but on trips needing to talk to people about it, it made me more and more fascinated and wanted to learn a lot more myself so that I could share that. And I find through sharing that, hopefully it makes a difference with people with their awareness of nature as well. And that all really helps all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
After understanding a little bit more about why Kiwis work so hard to protect their flora, we wanted more details about how. So we asked Billy, an experienced possum trapper who has lived his whole life in the bush, about ways that native flora are protected by New Zealanders.
How does New Zealand, in relation to conservation, preserve New Zealand's native plants?
Well, we try our best, the ones that are being endangered, to propagate them in nurseries and stuff like that, or protect them in their natural environment if they can't be grown regrown. So, but our plants, there's only a very few small numbers of plants that are actually endangered, really. There is work done with plants, like some of your stuff that grows in sand dunes and stuff. And there is certain plants that we try and look after. So yeah, we do areas that people can't go into because they have certain plants and they're only found in a couple of places in New Zealand, or the world for that matter. But we have very good nurseries, very good people that know how to propagate native plants. Often we'll try and get them growing in a different environment.
It was refreshing for us, through our journeys through New Zealand, to discover that conservation can be a priority. Living in the US, it never feels like conservation efforts are prioritized by those who are in charge and pass laws, and instead feels like an afterthought. Spending time in New Zealand, it seemed that conservation was at the forefront of not just the government, but the people's minds as well. Nearly everyone we talked to and encountered felt passionate and had strong opinions regarding conservation policies. Not just if they should be enacted, but how they should be. It was encouraging to know that a culture of conservation was so prevalent in New Zealand. It inspired hope to know that some nations are treating the preservation of their natural land and ecosystems with great importance.